Welcome back to another episode of Big Bear Boston Combo, episode number 64. The conversation I want to get into today is it more than likely Jaron Ennis will face the loser in Yordenis Ugas versus Errol Spence. Let's get into a few short clips on what Brian Custer had to say on the matter and also what Errol Spence had to say in a potential matchup between the two. And also, does it really make sense for Jaron Ennis to actually go through a title eliminator first?
Interviewed Yordenis Ugas, and Ugas said, look, I love Boots Ennis as a fighter, and I win this fight, and if I've got to fight Boots Ennis, then I'll do it. Listen, there are a number of guys who said, you know what, great fighter, why would I fight him now? He ain't got no belt. You know what I mean? And so you know what that means. That means that kid's a problem.
Real quick, what do you think about a potential bout against Jaron Boots Ennis? Is he a guy that you would face in the future? I know he's a young cat, but...
Yeah. I mean, he got a lot of talent. I mean, in the future, we'll see. We'll definitely see. But like I said, I ain't ducking and dodging nobody.
You see the talent, though? You respect him?
Oh, yeah, I respect talent. Talent, skills, the ability, everything. Like, he got all the tools.
Or you think Boots Ennis, who I believe is fighting for the IBF eliminator, attempting to get a chance at that title. What do you make of that? What are your thoughts as far as them as fighters, as potential opponents in the future, considering that maybe even Virgil, him being here from Dallas as well, Grand Prairie to be exact, it would be a huge fight here in Dallas.
Jaron, I feel like he's very skilled, got a lot of good talent, good reflexes. He can really fight. I like
Spence Ugas. Great fight. Spence coming off another layoff. I think Ugas gonna try to start fast because Spence coming off their layoff. But I think Spence going win a close fight, like split decision.
So you got to hear Jaron Ennis actually break down who he think is going to win. I agree with him, but I do think that Errol Spence will actually stop Yordenis Ugas. I think I think he's going to be the more powerful fighter that night, but I can say whatever I want to say. You do not know what's going to happen until those guys step into that ring and display their overall skills. And I can't wait for the fight. But Brian Custer also said that Yordenis Ugas has no problem facing, if he wins, he has no problem facing Jaron Ennis. And also Errol Spence said the same thing. And so I don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't think either one of those guys are going to duck him. I think Jaron Ennis, with patience, he's going to get what he's looking for. And also, like I say, with patience, anything come to fruition. I think he's on the doorstep. He's in perfect position to actually contend for a title. And I think it's truly going to happen. But let's go ahead and break this video down. Title, thumbnail, for the title. So in the title, I got should he face the loser? I think it, especially with them talking about a title eliminator, that could be looked at as a title eliminator that actually makes sense. So if he more than likely, I think, and just in my opinion, I think he will probably face Yordenis Ugas. Say this is just a scenario. Say that on April 16th, Errol Spence goes in there and handles Yordenis Ugas, but he get a split decision, or he gets a really good win, a dominant win. But then Jaron Ennis actually goes and faces the Yordenis Ugas and actually stops Yordenis Ugas in devastating fashion. And you looking at Jaron Ennis like a whole different. He's just, everything changed. Everything has changed. Only thing that he will not have is a belt in his hand. And so if you make that a title eliminator, for me, it makes sense. If you don't, I don't like the title eliminator because he could be waiting for quite a while. If Errol Spence gets past Ugas and then he starts sitting down with Terrence Crawford, that means negotiations can go on for a week, 2 weeks, a month. Then you got to go through all the other stuff, and then you get into training camp. That's 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks out. And then you probably, more than likely, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence probably fighting, in September, probably later than that, probably October, maybe even November. And then somebody want to go on vacation because that's gonna be a rough night for both of those guys. So Jaron Ennis going into a regular title eliminator with just some random guy. I don't know if it'd be Virgil Ortiz, which I would love that fight. But then he may have to take another type of fight or sit on the shelf for a little while. But if he was to go in there, to me, it just looks better if he was actually faced a former champion at 147 And most likely Yordenis Ugas. That's just my opinion. You guys don't have to agree with me, but that's what this channel is about conversation of boxing. But if he was to face Yordenis Ugas, for me, it just makes more sense. No matter which one he faces, it makes more sense. And whoever wins between a potential fight between Yordenis Ugas and Jaron Ennis, they could also be back in title contention. Depends on who won. So to me, that type of title contention makes more sense, because I'm pretty sure if Yordenis Ugas lose, he gonna be, especially like if he come out with a split decision, maybe he pushes for a rematch, or if he gets dominated and he just kind of come out, just kind of holding his head high because he made it 12 rounds with Errol Spence. So then, all that's, like I say, the scenario for me, it sounds better for him to fight the loser than to go into another type of fight with another guy, somebody we probably never heard of, because I think we need to start seeing more out of Jaron Ennis as far as like actually fighting former, even though he has fought a couple former champions, but somebody like Ugas or even if it's Spence or somebody like that, man, that can tell us a lot about who he is. And it's easier to sell a pay-per-view, especially, like I say, no matter which one it is, no matter if it's Spence or Ugas. I think that pay-per-views are a little, on the business side is so much better. If he was to go in there and just dominate Ugas or dominate Spence and knock both of one of them guys out, after Ugas and Spence actually been through a tough fight, then we start looking at we start looking at Jaron Ennis so much different. I mean, this kid is probably gonna be on late night talk shows, all kind of stuff. And then like I say, when you get into promoting the next fight, the next big fight, whether it's Terrence Crawford, Ugas, or Errol Spence, you just never know how everything is gonna play out. Then the fight is major. I mean, if everything works itself out, even though everybody, including myself, I want to see Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence go at it. They both undefeated. They're a little bit older than Jaron. Well, they're a lot older than Jaron is. I think by 10 years or something like that, or 7 or something like that. But still, I would still want to live to see one of the biggest fights that we all have been waiting on for many years take place. But like I said, scenarios is just a scenario. Like I say, for me, a title eliminator between whoever loses, I think it makes more sense for Jaron Ennis, and I think it makes more sense for business, TV sales, pay-per-views, potential pay-per-view buys and stuff like that. It could be a huge fight. But like I say, I don't think these guys got a problem with Jaron Ennis. I think nobody's ducking him. I think everybody want to test him out. The fans want to see what he really is it really true by the skills that he displays. And I heard nothing but positive things come from Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas. And I haven't really did my research on what Terrence Crawford had to say about Jaron Ennis, but I'm pretty sure they can recognize, like they always say, real recognize real. So they know what he's made of. But like I say, I want to see him kind of face some like tougher tasks and stuff like that. I think Yordenis Ugas, which I keep going back to this, just my opinion. I think that most likely that Yordenis Ugas would lose, but I would love to see Yordenis Ugas actually jump back into another tough fight. I think the only way he'll probably not get a rematch if he gets dominated, which I think either he gets dominated or he gets stopped. I don't really see a knockout, but I think Errol Spence is one of them pressure fighters that can stop anybody from body shots and pressure. And a lot of times you start getting tired. You're not doing some of the same things that you normally would do against other fighters. And I think that he takes your style from him, make you fight his fight. I think that he could fight Yordenis Ugas boxing him. I think he could bang with him, and I think that he's gonna do both. And I think Yordenis Ugas, I don't think he has enough power to actually keep Errol Spence away from him. And I think that Errol Spence is simply the better, harder puncher when it comes to fighting on the inside. But like I say, it could set Jaron Ennis up to actually face the loser, and actually they create a title eliminator out of the loser, and then that way that for me it just makes more sense. But hopefully that Jaron Ennis actually gets a shot. But I think realistically he's gonna have to still be patient and wait, especially if Errol Spence win and Terrence Crawford, they kind of come to terms and we finally get that fight. For me, it's worth it. But for Jaron Ennis, I'm pretty sure he'll understand, but he'll probably be a little bit upset, and he may have to take a Virgil Ortiz fight. And I think realistically, I think Jaron Ennis will have to wait no matter how everything plays out. I think that more than likely he probably won't get his title shot, especially a legitimate title shot, until sometime next year. But I think he's up and coming. I think he's deserving, and I think he will eventually break through. But you guys let me know what you think about this topic down in the comments below. That's going to conclude another episode of Big Bear Boxing Combo, episode number 64. You guys let me know what you think about this topic down in the comments below. If you want to see what I'm wearing, shoptachi.com. Follow me on all social media platforms that I'm currently on. Links will be down in the descriptions below. Just want to thank you guys like I do each and every single video. Without you guys, my channel wouldn't be what it is today. You guys give me the motivation to keep going. So I'm going to keep doing that and give you the best boxing content that I can possibly give you guys. So if you're new to the channel, old to the channel, please try to make sure you watch the full video so you get the full breakdown of the content on my channel. Also, leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you guys won't miss out on upcoming videos on my channel. With all that out of the way, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Combo.